The gorgeous alien queen pointed at me and declared me her ex-husband. Fi story. I was knee-deep in Martian soil, adjusting a thermal relay on a busted irrigation pipe, when the dropship descended like the wrath of an angry god. The hum of ion engines thundered through the dry air as sand kicked up in wild spirals. I shielded my eyes, heart thudding, not from fear, but from the sheer absurdity of the situation. No one visited Outpost Tharsis 9. Especially not royalty. The ramp lowered with a hiss of hydraulics and a spray of decontaminant mist. I stared. A tall, radiant figure emerged, draped in flowing silks that shimmered like starlight. Her skin gleamed an opalescent lavender, her eyes luminous gold. A crown of crystalline spires hovered an inch above her silver-white hair, and she was walking straight toward me. Behind her, a retinue of armored guards moved in perfect formation. Their weapons weren't drawn, but they might as well have been. The air crackled with tension and something else. Recognition. Queen stopped 3 feet from me. She tilted her head, narrowed her feline-like eyes, and with a voice like honey over steel, declared to her guards and to my eternal horror, "That is him. Traitor. My ex-husband." Blinked, then blinked again. "What?" I managed, eloquent as ever. 2 guards seized me before I could process anything further. I was cuffed, hoisted into the air like a sack of Martian potatoes, and thrown onto her ship. Turns out her name was Queen Zalara of the Stellari Dominion, a vast interstellar empire spanning 5 galaxies. And apparently I was a dead ringer for her former consort, ex-consort I suppose, one Lord Virex Thal. According to her, he'd betrayed her in some ancient political upheaval that nearly tore their empire apart. The only problem? I wasn't him. My name's Rick Granger. 32. Earthborn. Retired systems engineer. Volunteer technician on Martian agricultural colonies. I have a dog named Coffee and a bad knee from a hoverboarding accident in college. That's it. No royal blood, no secret past. Or so I thought. Zalara didn't buy it. She ordered a full genetic scan, biometric analysis, and even subjected me to an ancient ritual involving psychic jellyfish and a floating orb that whispered my innermost secrets aloud. Yes, including that time I lied about finishing my taxes. To everyone's shock, including mine, the results came back indisputable. I was Virex Thal. Or rather, I had been, before a full neural wipe and genetic disguise. A procedure outlawed across the galaxy for being dangerously irreversible. "You erased yourself," Zalara hissed as we stood alone in her starlit throne chamber. "You would rather become this," she gestured at my worn-out jumpsuit and dirty boots, "than be at my side." She looked genuinely hurt. And confused. So was I. I didn't feel like a lord. I didn't remember anything before the age of 21. When I woke up in a med clinic with papers identifying me as Rick Granger, a survivor of a shuttle crash. No family. No records before that. And now a queen was telling me I'd once ruled beside her. Why would I leave? Yes. Zalara's gaze softened. Because you saw something coming. You warned me that my advisors plotted against us, but I refused to believe it. You vanished after that. Days later, the palace was attacked. Thousands died. She turned away, her voice tight. I always wondered if you left to save yourself, or to save me. The days passed. She kept me on her ship, technically a flying palace, under luxurious but strict supervision. I wasn't a prisoner, but I wasn't free either. It didn't help that her court was split. Half wanted me executed as a traitor. The other half saw my return as a divine omen. I didn't want to be either. At night, I stared out the viewport, watching stars drift by. My memories didn't return, but dreams came. Dreams of fire, of running, of Zalara's tear-streaked face as I whispered something I couldn't remember. She visited me often. At first, our conversations were tense, bitter, laced with old wounds and unspoken accusations. But over time they changed. We began to talk, not as a queen and her fugitive ex, but as two people trying to understand the vast hole between them. I learned of her burden, of holding together an empire fractured by war and betrayal, of loneliness behind 1,000 ceremonial masks. And she saw my humanity, not Virex's. One night she brought me a memory crystal. "This is yours," she said softly. "You left it with the High Priestess of Virelia before your disappearance." I hesitated, then touched it. A torrent of images flooded my mind. Not memories but echoes. Feelings. Love. Anger. Regret. And a plan. A secret plan Virex had made. To erase himself entirely. Become someone the assassins would never find. Someone who could return when the time was right, to finish what he started. To stop the true traitor. High Chancellor Voren. Zalara was stunned. "He's still in power." "Then we finish it," I said. We returned to the Dominion's capital. Hidden inside a diplomatic convoy, I assumed the role of Rick Granger, Earth technician brought in to fix a security node in the High Council's chambers. No one recognized me, not even Voren, who had grown older and smugger. Zalara played her part, feigning ignorance, luring Voren into a sense of victory. When the time came, I hacked into the Central Archive, exposing files Virex had hidden long ago. Evidence of Voren's betrayal. Secret deals with alien warlords. Assassination contracts. Everything. We broadcast it live during Voren's annual Unity speech. He didn't even make it to the second paragraph before the guards seized him. The aftermath was swift and chaotic. Trials, riots, resignations. But the Dominion began to heal. Zalara stood before the people and told them everything. The truth about Virex, the sacrifice he made, and the man he had become. "He is no longer my husband," she said. "He is something greater, a symbol of redemption, of hope, of humanity." People roared. She offered me a position at her side. Again, not as a consort, but as a counselor, an advisor, partner. I looked at her, radiant under the twin suns, and felt the echo of something old and deep stir within me. "I'm honored," I said, "but I'm still Rick. I can't be who I was." She smiled sadly. "Then be who you are. That's all I've ever wanted." I stayed for a while, helped stabilize the Dominion, rebuilt diplomatic channels with fringe systems. Even taught a class on Terran engineering at the Royal Academy. But eventually I returned to Mars. To my outpost. To the quiet. I still don't remember everything. Maybe I never will. Maybe that's okay. Sometimes I get messages from her. Holograms of sunsets on her homeworld. Reports of new peace treaties. Once, even a blurry photo of a puppy she named Coffee too. And sometimes when the Martian sky turns violet just before dusk, I see a shadow pass overhead. Her ship watching, waiting, not for Virex, not for a king, but for the man I chose to become.